Today we were going to talk about Harvey Weinstein Part 2, and we were going to go over some of the things in his case that you should be alerted to, and a lot of them you probably know about already. But we were going to go over those things real quick. There are about 10 items that you should know about in this case, and the first one was why wasn't he jailed ahead of trial? Because if the word's out that they're looking for you, and somebody says, yeah, he's over at his apartment, they go and pick you up and put you in jail. And what they did, they had worked out a deal before he was arrested with the judge, that they would bring him over to the judge, and the judge would set the terms of his bond and where he could go to. And the judge said they thought, I guess, he's not a flight risk, but the judge said he could not travel outside New York and Connecticut. And the judge also made him put up a $10 million cash certified check bond, $10 million, and that was be his bond. And if he did take off and he left that area from New York to Connecticut, they would cash that bond in, or they would get the money, or they would lock somebody up. And that's how soon will he go to trial. And when you have these criminal cases that are real involved, a lot of time could go more than a year. And the other thing, a grand jury has to be chosen, and he should go before the grand jury if he will, and that must happen within 6 months. By laws, there are deadlines intended to speed things along. Now, what happens now? His next appearance will be in criminal court in Manhattan on July 30th, when he'll learn whether a grand jury has indicted him and what the charges are. If it has, then he'll be arraigned in state Supreme Court in Manhattan, and the long run up the trial begins. Who will a judge be? There are a lot of judges there in Manhattan, but generally this Justice James Burke handles most of the cases brought by the Secretary Bureau of the Manhattan District Attorney's Office. But the administrative judge, Justice Ellen Bibben, will make the final decision. Could there be more criminal charges brought against Harvey Weinstein? Yes. First, the Manhattan District Attorney is continuing to investigate, and then they have a grand jury is reviewing the evidence of other sexual assault allegations against Mr. Weinberg, as well as possible financial crimes relating to his using money to silence people. Second, since last year, federal prosecutors have been investigating possible financial improprieties to Weinstein, focusing on fraud allegations related to an AIDS charity fundraiser. And they have broadened their inquiries to include allegations Mr. Weinstein may have violated federal stalking laws in his dealings with women who have accused him of sexual assault. And there are also inquiries underway in London and Los Angeles. The next question is, why didn't the statute of limitations preclude charging Mr. Weinstein with the case supposedly he was involved in 2004? And why didn't the statutes of limitations bar that case? It's been 14 years. And the main reason is there was something passed stating that cases after 2001 were not involved with the statute of limitations. And the next question is, why didn't he enter a guilty plea in court on Friday? That would be yesterday. He hasn't been indicted by no grand jury. There's no big charge, so no plea is necessary. Then the next question is, will the victims have to testify? They certainly must. If nobody's testifying against you in a court case, a criminal court case, you are walking straight out the door, because you'll tell the judge there's no evidence, there's nobody testifying, there's no evidence in the record. And so they're going to need victims to testify. Now, will Mr. Weinstein testify? He does not have to, and often the evidence appears, if the evidence appears especially strong, he will probably not take the witness stand. If the evidence appears strong, he won't take the witness stand. Who is his lawyer? Benjamin Brafman, former Manhattan prosecutor, a real good, big-time criminal lawyer in New York City, and he's represented big stars, movie stars and things like that in criminal cases, and generally he does a real good job. Weinstein had another law firm representing him in a case a girl brought against him in 2015, but now he's going with Benjamin Brafman. So as we progress along, and it can't do this in one day, there'll be more progressions. We'll be coming out with more evidence, and we'll tell you, bring you up to date on what everything is happening, and you just have to wait and see. Thank you.